Most people live their lives without realizing the true power they carry within themselves. They believe they are prisoners of their circumstances, victims of fate. But, what if I told you that you have the power to transform your reality, at any moment? Louise Hay taught us something simple, yet revolutionary. What you think, you become. Today, we will dive deep into her teachings and understand how your mind can become your greatest ally in the process of healing and transformation. Everything begins within you. Louise Hay Part 1, The mind is a tool for transformation. What you think about yourself defines everything that happens in your life. If you believe you're not good enough, the world will reflect that back to you. But if you see yourself as strong and deserving, you'll begin to see doors opening where there once were only walls. Louise Hay used to say, "The mind is like a garden. Every thought is a seed. If you plant fear and doubt, you will harvest insecurity. But if you plant love, trust, and abundance, these are the flowers that will bloom in your life." The question is, what have you been planting? The good news: you can choose new seeds, starting today. Part 2, How your beliefs limit your life. Since childhood, we've been conditioned to believe certain things about ourselves, beliefs that often aren't even ours. Maybe you've heard things like, "You're not good enough. This isn't for you. Life is hard. Money is dirty." Over time, these words become your inner voice. And you start believing them. But here's the secret: none of these beliefs are absolute truths. They only have power because you believe them. If you want to change your life, you need to change the stories you tell yourself. Affirm with courage. I choose new beliefs. Part 3, The power of positive affirmations. One of the most powerful tools taught by Louise Hay is positive affirmations. They are like commands that reprogram your mind for a new reality. At first, it might feel strange. Your subconscious mind may resist. But over time, these words create new neural pathways in your brain. Now, take a deep breath and repeat after me. I am enough. I deserve love. My life is changing for the better. Feel the words. Absorb their energy. Make this a daily habit. You can start by writing 3 positive affirmations every morning. Over time, your mind will begin to work with you, not against you. Part 4, Healing through forgiveness. One of the greatest blocks in people's lives is resentment. We hold on to pain as if it were armor, not realizing that, in truth, it's a chain. Louise Hay said, "Forgiveness dissolves resentment and opens the way for love to flow freely in our lives." Forgiving is not accepting someone else's mistake. It's freeing yourself from the weight of pain. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Think of someone who hurt you. Take a deep breath and say to yourself, I choose to let go. I choose to release this pain. Feel the lightness of this choice. Forgiving is an act of love for yourself. Part 5, Creating a new reality. Now that you understand your thoughts create your life, what kind of future do you want to create? Start acting as if the life of your dreams is already happening. Speak, think, and move with the confidence of someone who already possesses what they desire. Louise Hay taught, everything is about aligning your mind and energy with what you want to attract. Ask yourself, what can I start changing today? If the answer is my thoughts, you've already taken the first step. Part 6, The Self-Love Challenge. The mirror. Looking into your own eyes can be one of the most powerful and difficult experiences of your life. According to Louise Hay, mirror work is transformative. When you look at yourself and speak words of love, you're healing forgotten parts of your soul. Maybe you've never done this before. But today, I invite you to try. Go to a mirror, or imagine your reflection, and say, I love you. You are safe. I am here for you. You might cry. You may resist. But keep going. Make this a daily ritual, even if for 2 minutes. You'll discover that the woman who needed your love the most was you. Part 7, The Body and Disease. The language of self-love. Louise Hay believed that the body is a mirror of the mind. Physical pain often comes from emotional imbalances or repetitive thoughts. Back pain can be the weight of carrying the world. Frequent colds may be the body asking for rest. Heart problems may reflect unresolved hurts. We're not saying to abandon medical care. But why not combine science with self-love? Start by asking your body, what are you trying to tell me? Where in my life is love missing? The body speaks. And when we listen with love, it thanks us with healing. Part 8, Reconnecting with your inner child. Inside every woman lies the little girl she once was. And that girl holds wins, dreams, fears, and hopes. Often, this child was silenced, ignored, or felt alone. Maybe she cried in silence. Maybe she believed she had to be too strong, too soon. or that she wasn't enough to be loved as she was. Louise Hay taught us to look with tenderness at this forgotten part of us. Ignoring the inner child is like abandoning the root of a tree and expecting it to bloom. Reconnection exercise with your inner child. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, visualize yourself at 5 or 6 years old. See her eyes. Feel her presence. Now kneel in front of her, in your imagination, and say, "I see you. I'm sorry for not having listened to you before. But I'm here now. I love you. You are important. You are valuable. You always have been. Keep coming back to this place." Speak to your inner child every day. Show her that she now has a safe haven in you. Part 9. Love is always the answer. It all comes down to this. Love. Love heals. Love frees. Love transforms. Louise Hay said, "Love is the most powerful force in the universe. And when you choose it, everything changes." Loving doesn't mean accepting everything passively. Loving is an act of courage. It's saying no when something hurts you. It's making choices aligned with the woman you are becoming. Powerful questions to guide your decisions with love. Does this choice bring me closer to the woman I want to be? Does this connect me with my truth? Does this expand me, or shrink me? You have the right to choose love. And it begins with the way you treat yourself. Love yourself with more tenderness. Love yourself in your imperfections. Love yourself even when it seems difficult. Love is a habit. The more you plant within yourself, the more it blossoms around you. Part 10, Healing Ritual and Final Words. We've reached the end of this journey, but perhaps, for you, this is just the beginning. Now that you've heard, felt, and embraced so many truths, it's time to seal this moment with a small healing ritual, simple, yet profound. Grab paper and pen. Take a deep breath. Let your heart speak. Answer without judgment. What do I choose to release today? What do I choose to nurture inside of me from now on? What new truth do I want to affirm every day? Write sincerely. You are writing a new chapter in your life. Now, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and repeat after me. I am enough. I love myself deeply. I trust life. I choose to be happy. In the end, healing begins with a simple yes, a yes to yourself. And as Louise Hay would say, everything is well in my world. Everything is unfolding as it should. I am loved. I am free. Part 11, Accepting the Present Moment. Transformation begins when we stop fighting against the now. It seems simple, but accepting the present moment is one of the greatest challenges for many of us. Often, our minds are so busy trying to control the future or relive the past that we forget the only real moment we have is the present. Louise Hay said, "The present moment is the only point of power we have." This phrase carries a depth we need to explore. Life often teaches us to live in the future, planning, anticipating, and creating expectations. But, in reality, the only place where we can act, grow, and blossom is in the present. How many times have you found yourself lost in the past, rummaging through memories, or worrying about what is yet to come? How many times has fear or anxiety about the future stolen your present? What if I told you that, to transform your life, you need, first and foremost, to stop fighting against what is happening right now? It's not about conforming to difficulties but accepting the moment as it is and finding space within it to grow and change. Practice this acceptance with a simple deep breath and say, "I accept the now. I am safe in this moment." Every time you repeat this, you will anchor your mind in the present and allow transformation to happen more fluidly and harmoniously. Accepting the present does not mean conforming to a reality that doesn't please you, but rather giving permission for change to happen from the inside out. When you surrender to the moment, you create deep roots, and it is from these roots that you can begin to plant new intentions, new habits, new ways of living and being. Part 12, Liberating Yourself from Self-Criticism. Many of us were taught to be hard on ourselves. The internal criticism can be so present that we don't even realize the negative way we treat ourselves. Before we even look at ourselves in the mirror, we are already judging, comparing ourselves to others, or to an idealized version of who we should be. But, what if the criticism is not the solution to our problems, but rather what keeps us from reaching inner peace? Louise Hay invites us to an internal revolution, to replace self-criticism with self-compassion. Instead of hammering ourselves for our flaws, what if we looked at ourselves with a gentler gaze? She said, every time you criticize someone, you are creating more criticism for yourself. Criticism never solves anything, and she was right. Self-criticism keeps us stuck in a cycle of frustration and exhaustion. It doesn't motivate us to improve. It just makes us doubt our ability and worth. Imagine what would change in your life if you became your biggest supporter. What would happen if, instead of criticizing yourself, you celebrated your small victories and encouraged yourself in the face of challenges? This is possible, and it begins with a conscious choice. The next time a negative thought arises, stop and say, "This is no longer my truth. I choose to treat myself with kindness." When we start doing this, we can radically transform our relationship with ourselves. Remember, criticism builds nothing. Understanding and love do. Self-awareness and self-care are the keys to unlocking your true potential. The world around you reflects how you see yourself. If you embrace yourself, the universe will too. Part 13, Developing Daily Gratitude. Gratitude is a key that opens the heart to the beauty of life, especially in the most challenging moments. Often, we are so focused on difficulties that we forget to notice the things we are already blessed with. Louise Hay said, "The more you thank, the more reasons you find to be thankful," and this simple truth has the power to transform our perspective on life. What would happen if you started practicing gratitude more consciously and intentionally every day? Upon waking and before sleeping, repeat out loud 3 things you are grateful for. This could be something simple, like the hug of a friend, the smile of a stranger, or the fact that you are healthy and strong enough to face challenges. These small things, when recognized, have the power to transform the energy around you. Gratitude shifts the focus from scarcity to abundance. When we begin to focus on what we have, rather than what we lack, we see life from a new perspective, richer, fuller, and more generous. Where there is gratitude, there are miracles. Try looking at your life through eyes of gratitude and notice how the small wonders begin to appear before you. Part 14, Taking Responsibility for Your Life. Taking responsibility for our lives is one of the greatest acts of courage we can make. This doesn't mean blaming ourselves for everything that went wrong, but rather taking control of our own destiny. Louise Hay taught that we have the power to change our lives, we just have to decide. Taking responsibility is a choice that empowers us. It may seem difficult at first, especially when we are used to blaming others or circumstances for our unhappiness. But when we accept that we are the authors of our story, we gain the power to rewrite it. From today, I am the author of my story, is a powerful affirmation. When you see yourself in control of your life, opportunities begin to emerge in unexpected ways. This means that you have the right to transform your reality. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are a creator. And, by taking this responsibility, you start to see possibilities that were once hidden. Part 15, Creating Spaces for Inner Silence. We live in an increasingly noisy world, where distractions are constant and silence is increasingly rare. However, true wisdom resides in silence. Louise Hay taught us that silence is where our soul finds peace and the answers we need. Try today to turn everything off for 5 minutes. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and simply be present. At first, it might be hard. The world around you may seem urgent, but the truth is nothing is more urgent than your inner peace. Silence is not empty. It is full of wisdom. In this space, you will find answers you may not have been listening to before. Your soul whispers when you are willing to hear it. When you make silence a habit, you create a sacred space where transformation can happen naturally and deeply. Part 16, Granting Yourself Permission to Be Happy. Sometimes, without realizing it, we feel a certain guilt for being happy. As if happiness is something we need to earn, something that comes after much effort or suffering. But the truth is, happiness is our right, not a prize to be won. Louise Hay said, "You deserve all that is good. There is no need to suffer." In this phrase is an invitation to release the idea that we need to sacrifice ourselves to deserve happiness. Often, life teaches us that happiness is something distant, something we will only have once we fulfill certain requirements. But happiness is not a reward. It is a natural state we can choose at any moment. Repeat to yourself, "I allow myself to be happy. I allow myself to live lightly." Don't wait for others' approval or the perfect moment. Happiness begins with the permission to be who you are, whole, free, and fulfilled. Part 17, Letting Go of Control. Control is a form of fear. When we try to control everything, we are basically telling the universe that we don't trust it. Louise Hay taught us that when we let go, the universe surprises us. Love is trust. And trust is the key to transformation. Letting go doesn't mean not caring. It means trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. By letting go, you open yourself to the infinite possibilities the universe has for you. There is no need to have all the answers now. You just need to take the next step with confidence. Say with faith, "I let go. I trust. I opened myself to the flow of life. Letting go is an act of faith, and faith has the power to move mountains. When you release control, you make space for love and abundance to enter your life.